Hey y'all, I just wanted to say that at first I was fighting with myself on whether or not to even release this video because I feel like I won't get any views on it, and if I do, it won't be for a while. But after hearing what this guy Adigun Forest, or whatever the fuck his name is, I don't give a good goddamn what his name is, after hearing the bullshit he said about unaliving black women, especially older black women, because black women are the root of all evil. What the fuck? So after hearing what he said, that's what compelled me to go ahead and release this video. I don't care if I even get one view on it. What I'm talking about, I will link this video in the description so you will hear some of what he had to say and some of the stitches of what people said reacting to it. You'll see what I'm talking about, but this is what compelled me to go ahead and release this video. So go ahead, watch that video, watch this video, and share it to as many people as you possibly can, because the self-hatred that some black women have, it needs to be addressed. And you'll see that a lot of us do love ourselves, but some of us are fighting with loving ourselves. Some of us are trying to push past a lot of barriers to love ourselves. And yeah, just get this out to as many people as you can, because this has to be addressed. So love y'all. Talk to you later. Bye. Hey y'all, what's up? This is Rosie, and this is a subject that I've been trying to avoid because I never really wanted to talk about it, but I've been seeing it pop up a lot on sites like Quora and on YouTube, and I didn't want to talk about it because I felt like it would be another trauma bomb. But as a woman who is 47 years old and standing on 50's porch and is about to knock on its door, I strongly feel like this subject is something that needs to be talked about. So even if I get no views on this video, or very few, I have a responsibility to address this because it may help somebody one day. And this is about why some black women self-hate, or at least in my view, why some of us self-hate. This is something that I still struggle with to this very day, and I hate to let my own children see it, but like I said, I'm trying to work on that. Some black women, not all, but some black women self-hate because it is ingrained in them from an early age that they are not worthy of love or even self-love. Often this message is given to them by people who should be lifting them up, protecting them, and never tearing them down. This message is given to them by their own people. I know I'll probably receive a lot of crap for this, but I wouldn't say it if it wasn't my story. Now, I felt so strongly about this subject that I did something I haven't done in quite a few years because I have problems with them. I wrote a script. I have problems reading scripts. I mess up the words a lot. I might have some form of dyslexia, but it's never been formally diagnosed, so I don't know, but I mess up a lot, so just bear with me on this. What I never touched on in any of my trauma bomb videos was the trauma that a lot of black children place on each other. Children are cruel. And I mean all children, not just black ones. Some of my worst cases of emotional trauma came from other kids who looked just like me. When I was 4, I was briefly taken away from my mom and placed in a home for disadvantaged youths. And this was only temporary, maybe a week or two. And I remember it was a big, beautiful mansion where girls and boys of all ages were taken. And they were treated nicely by two black caregivers who lived in the home with us. We had all our meals together, had a set time to wake up, and a specific bedtime. The children who interacted the most with me were the white kids. And at that time, I believe that was probably my first time seeing white children. The older white girls loved to pick me up, bathe me, cuddle me, and they always said how cute I was. I don't remember any of the black children, except for a boy who escaped a few minutes after he was brought there by the police, if I'm not mistaken. And when I started school a couple of years later, even there, the kids who interacted with me the most were the white kids. I had maybe one or two black friends, but the white ones stuck out to me the most because they were the ones who hung out with me more. I started school in the first grade and went to a culturally diverse school. Gibson Elementary School probably had as many black students as they did white, and I loved it there. The first time I ever went to a black school was when I was hit with a culture shock I never expected. You would think you would have more of a rapport with children who looked like you. Growing up in 1980s post-civil rights era Birmingham, we would all hope this would be true, but sadly it wasn't. Going to Watley K through 8 introduced me to bullying for the first time. The kids there were mostly, if not all, from the nearby Avondale projects. They loved to fight and call each other names. It was the first school I ever went to where the kids said I was ugly. I'd never been told that before, ever. They made fun of my name, my face, the way I walked, and anything else they could target just because they could. I went there throughout most of second grade and over half of third. After I left there, my mom enrolled me into Baker Elementary. It was in Inslee, and it was another beautiful school with culturally diverse students. The kids who hung out with me the most? Why don't you take a guess? I finished out third grade at that school and had so much fun there, and I really did. It was the first and only time I ever had field day at school. My mom didn't believe in letting me go to school on the last day, but she did that year. The next year, Council Elementary came after that. Out of every school I ever went to, for some reason, I hated that school the most. I went there for more than half of fourth grade and despised every second of it. I hated the students. I hated my teacher. I hated that friggin' school. My mom's fiance's sister decided to check up on me one day and talk to my teacher. The teacher told her I had trouble making friends, quote, and kept to myself. Well, she went home that day and decided to report this to my mom as if I committed some great sin. I told my mom, how can I make friends with all the kids there when they hate me? I go there every day and they call me ugly. They tell me I'm stupid. They make fun of me and they laugh at me. They hate me, so I hate them back. Mama couldn't really say anything to that, so she told her sister-in-law to be, thank you, but Roz is my child. If that teacher has a problem, she should report it to me and not to you. Not long after that, thankfully, I returned to Gibson for the last few months of fourth grade. I wish I could say that I loved it the second time around, but sadly I can't. It was still culturally diverse, but there were more black students, which means I got bullied more. And I know any student of any color, any child of any color can make fun of you, which my children can attest to, but for some reason the black kids picked on me and the white kids befriended me. I wanted more black friends, believe me. I wanted friends who looked like me, but yeah. But anyways, I had a few friends, sure. One or two white ones, but with more black students, black kids played with me more. So I didn't have very many friends, but yeah. And they weren't students who hung out with me after school. They were just school friends. You know how sometimes you'll have friends at school and then friends at home? And they were my school friends. And for some reason, they didn't stay friends with me long. Like they would all abandon me in the middle of the year or something, for some reason, for no reason usually. But anyway, I also went there throughout my 5th grade year. One girl in that class hated me for no other reason than that I existed. Because of that, I hated her even more. I hated everything about her. I hated her so much that to this day I still remember her name 37 years later. Oh gosh. This trend, quote, continued from Dupe K through 8 to Hayes Middle to Jones Valley K through 8 and back to Hayes, all the way to and through Woodlawn High School. Throughout the remainder of high school, I was called ugly and made fun of by the girls who looked just like me, who talked like me, who grew up in the same circumstances, maybe a little different here and there, that I did. What brought this up was a girl on Quora a few months back. She said that she hated being a black girl. And I will put that post in the video along with my reply to her so you can read it for yourselves. But when I saw that, it resonated with me so deeply because I was that girl in high school. Those girls that I went to school with, those idiots who bullied me every freaking day and made my life hell, made me hate being one of them. I hated my skin tone, my big brown eyes, my full heart-shaped lips, and even my family nose. I hated being me because in my mind, I looked like those heartless bullies. I knew it wasn't right, but at that time, my mind was so poisoned against them and anything that would make me like them that self-hatred became a huge part of me all throughout high school. I even tried to unalive myself in class one day because of it. After graduating out of that cesspool, I knew I had to change because I couldn't change my race. And believe it or not, I didn't want to. Before I got married, I became obsessed with learning about Black history and more about Black culture. Why things happened and are still happening the way they did and are. Why we are the way we are and why we do things the way we do them. I read books about slavery, former slaves talking about living on the plantations and how they were treated, what happened when freedom came. I read books by Zora Neale Hurston and learned more about the civil rights era. I flooded my mind with Blackness and still seek it out when I can in books, movies, and even on YouTube. My ex-husband is white and my children are mixed, though they wish they had darker skin like mine. I'm not anti-white, but I am pro-Black now. What I've noticed through the years is Black people cause each other the most trauma. While we preach, cry and yell about black this and black that, we still turn our backs on our friends and cause the most pain to people in our family. I hated to be black back then because black people caused me the most pain. Over time, though, I learned that I wasn't the people who caused me pain. The only way I could become them, was to let them continue to traumatize my mind and traumatize me through my memories of them. I remember the names of the girls who I hated most in school. But as I look back on them, I am comforted with the fact that I am not them. I never was. I was kind to the kids they made fun of. I befriended the kids they shunned. I wasn't them then, and I am not them now. As I look back on them, I forgive them. I forgive them for taking up space in my head for 30 plus years, for making me hate myself so much for no reason, for laughing at me, targeting me, and humiliating me for their own sick pleasure, for making me cry and making other kids laugh at me, and for being downright cruel just to make it through a monotonous school day. I forgive them not for them, but for me. And now it is time for me and girls and women like me to own our blackness. We are hated by so many in the world, and I wasn't aware of how much black women were despised until I came upon the videos of Tommy Sotomayor so many years ago. Then I found out there was Kevin Samuels and others just like them. Black dudes who will do and say any and everything to make black women feel like we're mere animals baying at the moon. But I'm here to tell you that we're not. We're beautiful, we're important, we are love, and we are worthy of love. We are as worthy of love as any other woman, if not more. We don't have to give in to the constant rejection of ignorant people who refuse to see us. For every one person who refuses to see us, there is another person, maybe more, willing to give us a chance. All we have to do is step up and demand our place. Don't hate yourself for who you were born as. You can't help that. Own your culture. Own your beauty. Own your blackness. Because just as the lady told the baby girl so many years ago when she said, "I'm so ugly," don't say that. Don't ever say that. Our black is beautiful. And if you don't remember the video I'm talking about, it's the little 4-year-old girl who was getting her hair retwisted. And she just casually said, "I'm so ugly." And when I first saw that, I couldn't help but wonder who the hell put that in that beautiful baby's mind. Who put that in her head? But so many black women stepped up and reached out to that baby girl. There were pictures drawn of her, books made about her, I believe. Even Michelle Obama reached out to that sweet baby girl. I cry every time I watch that video, but I smiled when famous people reached out to a regular little girl who thought she was ugly. So, while so many don't want to hear today's message, that's fine. This message in this video isn't for you, and you can move on. But I do hope this will help someone else. You see, I didn't have this message all those years ago. I didn't have anybody telling me that I wasn't ugly just because some stank-ass girls I went to school with said I was. In today's world, you have people saying women should stick together and women shouldn't attack other women, when the next day those same women will bully a woman on TikTok for one reason or another. I call it performative female activism. It's not real. It's just to get brownie points, so that when they finally build a fan base, they can say whatever the fuck they want. But you are not your bullies. You are not the people who make fun of you. You are not the people who laugh at you. You are worthy of love, respect, and adoration. Your black is beautiful. So, thank you for wasting time with me, everyone. As usual, there is a donations link in the description, and if you would hit that to help support me and my channel, I would appreciate it. You would be helping me out more than you could ever possibly realize, and I thank you in advance. For now, though, I'm going to go, so give me a like, subscribe, and please share this message so it can get out to as many people as possible. I love y'all so much for wasting time with me. I hope to see y'all on the next upload. God, I didn't know this video was going to be so long. Bye for now.